Let's discuss key complications in product return process. 1. Miscommunication between the customer and the company regarding the reason for the return. Miscommunication can occur when the customer provides an inaccurate or incomplete reason for the return, or when the company misunderstands the reason. This can lead to delays in processing the return, additional costs for the company, and customer dissatisfaction. To minimize miscommunication, the company should clearly communicate its return policies and procedures, and provide multiple channels for customers to request returns and ask questions. 2. Delay in receiving the returned product due to shipping and logistics issues. Delay in receiving the returned product can occur due to issues with shipping, such as lost or delayed packages, or due to issues with the company's logistics processes, such as delays in processing returns. These delays can lead to customer frustration and dissatisfaction, as well as increased costs for the company. To minimize delays, the company should establish clear procedures for receiving and processing returns, and work with reliable shipping partners. 3. Difficulty in tracking returned products through the reverse logistics process. Difficulty in tracking returned products can occur when the company lacks effective systems for tracking returns, or when the returned product is not properly labeled or documented. This can lead to delays in processing returns, increased costs, and customer frustration. To improve tracking, the company should establish clear procedures for labeling and documenting returns, and implement effective tracking systems. 4. Damage to the returned product during shipping or handling. Damage to the returned product can occur during shipping or handling, which can lead to additional costs for the company and customer dissatisfaction. To minimize damage, the company should ensure that returned products are properly packaged and labeled, and work with reliable shipping partners. 5. Inability to repair or refurbish the returned product due to lack of replacement parts. Inability to repair or refurbish the returned product can occur when the company lacks the necessary replacement parts, or when the product is too damaged to be repaired. This can lead to increased costs for the company and customer dissatisfaction. To address this issue, the company should establish clear procedures for assessing and repairing returned products, and maintain an inventory of replacement parts. 6. Insufficient testing of returned products, leading to issues with quality control. Insufficient testing of returned products can occur when the company lacks effective systems for testing returns, or when the testing process is not thorough enough. This can lead to issues with product quality and customer dissatisfaction. To improve testing, the company should establish clear procedures for testing returned products, and implement effective testing systems. 7. Inconsistent or unclear return policies and procedures. Inconsistent or unclear return policies and procedures can lead to confusion and frustration for customers, as well as increased costs for the company. To minimize confusion, the company should establish clear and consistent return policies and procedures, and communicate them clearly to customers. 8. Limited options for returning certain types of products, such as hazardous materials. Limited options for returning certain types of products can lead to customer frustration and dissatisfaction, as well as increased costs for the company. To address this issue, the company should establish clear procedures for handling returns of hazardous materials, and work with reliable partners for disposal and transportation. 9. Lack of adequate documentation or record keeping during the return process. Lack of adequate documentation or record keeping can lead to confusion and errors in processing returns, as well as increased costs for the company. To improve record keeping, the company should establish clear procedures for documenting returns and implement effective record-keeping systems. Unauthorized returns, or returns of products that were not purchased directly from the company. Unauthorized returns, or returns of products that were not purchased directly from the company can lead to confusion and increased costs for the company. To address this issue, the company should establish clear procedures for handling unauthorized returns and communicate these procedures to customers. Disputes over whether the product is covered under warranty or whether the customer caused the damage. Disputes over warranty coverage or damage caused by the customer can lead to customer dissatisfaction and increased costs for the company. To minimize disputes, the company should establish clear procedures for assessing warranty claims and damage, and communicate these procedures to customers. Inability to identify the original purchaser or obtain necessary information about the product. Inability to identify the original purchaser or obtain necessary information about the product can lead to delays and increased costs for the company. To improve identification and information gathering, the company should establish clear procedures for collecting customer information and tracking product sales. High costs associated with handling and processing returned products, including shipping, refurbishing, and disposing of damaged products. High costs associated with handling and processing returned products can lead to decreased profitability for the company. To minimize costs, the company should establish efficient and effective procedures for handling returns and work with reliable partners for shipping, refurbishing, and disposal. Legal and regulatory compliance issues, including requirements for handling hazardous materials or complying with environmental regulations. Legal and regulatory compliance issues can lead to fines, penalties, and damage to the company's reputation. To address these issues, the company should establish clear procedures for complying with regulations and work with legal and environmental experts as necessary. Inability to repurpose or resell returned products, leading to waste and financial losses. Inability to repurpose or resell returned products can lead to waste and decreased profitability for the company. To address this issue, the company should establish procedures for assessing the condition of returned products and work with partners for repurposing or reselling. Inability to provide timely refunds or replacements to customers, leading to dissatisfaction and loss of business. Inability to provide timely refunds or replacements can lead to customer dissatisfaction and loss of business for the company. To minimize delays, the company should establish clear procedures for processing refunds and replacements, and work to improve the efficiency of these processes. Customer disputes or complaints related to the return process. Customer disputes or complaints can lead to decreased customer satisfaction and damage to the company's reputation. To address these issues, the company should establish clear procedures for handling disputes and complaints, and work to improve communication with customers. Negative impact on a company's reputation due to poor customer service or handling of returns. Negative impact on a company's reputation can lead to decreased customer loyalty and loss of business. To minimize negative impact, the company should establish clear and consistent procedures for handling returns and work to improve customer service and communication. Fraudulent returns or attempts to obtain refunds for products that were not actually purchased or were damaged intentionally. Fraudulent returns or attempts to obtain refunds can lead to financial losses for the company. To address this issue, the company should establish clear procedures for detecting and preventing fraud, and work to improve the security of the return process. Lack of transparency or communication with customers about the return process, leading to confusion and frustration. Lack of transparency or communication can lead to customer frustration and dissatisfaction. To improve communication, the company should establish clear channels for customer communication and work to improve the clarity and consistency of its return policies and procedures. By addressing these potential challenges proactively and implementing effective policies and procedures for product returns, businesses can improve customer satisfaction and minimize financial losses. We really thank you for your time spent on this session. Feel free to meet our partners by sending an inquiry email to contact us at t24global.com. Most of our partners have 15 to 20 years industry experience. So, please get in touch for any quick, managed business process and IT consulting needs.